Hello, John Dilworth here. We're going to pick up where we left off. In the midnight hour, scene 57. So we have a bunch of action that we have to get across. And I want to show that to you, just so we can get caught up. And then we'll resume with the animation. So Jim enters the scene, and he grabs a handle, a little, right? And then he does that thing. Then he breaks that. Now the joke, there's a joke in between here that's not, I didn't put it in. But he breaks the glass, but it's a door. So he opens the door and he grabs this. It's totally stupid, I know, but we're going to do it. And then he exits. So what I've done then is I did this. On my exposure sheets, I blocked off a tempo every 8 frames. Every 8 frames, there's a marking. And these will act as my guides. These are going to be my guides. So, and there are 9 of them. I've counted them. So there's one, and then there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the scene cuts. So 9. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to do 9 poses. I'm going to block out 9 poses. And so this is our rough layout. And this is what I'm going to do, because we can do it. Okay, so 9. So he's going to come in, let's say, he steps into this thing, right? So he steps down and up, and then down, right? So he would come in, down, and then settle. So what do we have? Just roughing this out. Shape head positions. So there's 4. So let's say he's coming down, and there's another head. And the tricky thing is you could bend this head here. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 6. Right, so that's a little bit more than what we need, so we'll cheat that. But I think that's fine. We can do that, and then he'll be here at this pose. And then he'll want to grab this. So we could cheat, as long as these things happen, for me, as long as these poses happen at certain tempo markings, then we'll be okay. Now I want Jim to have a kind of swivel here, and that would be something like this. Now what I really need to do is go into another pencil for this pose. It's going to grab that and just go cartoony, and they're just going to block this out. I'm not going to worry about what is what, because we're just doing some exploratory business. I could easily just animate this straight ahead, but I thought this would be much more interesting, and bring his head a little bit down so everything's dynamic, because so really what I'm thinking is all this is connected. His head is going down, and I'm not quite certain. Yeah, so he comes in, but it's really his hand His hand will be telegraphing, right? You've heard this before. We all have. All us animators are going to telegraph this hand as he's coming in, and it'll open up. Something like this. So this would be the first, just the first introduction, the first introductory action. And then there's all sorts of beautiful business with the hand that can happen too. This is all crude, but there's a joint here with the wrist, and you can have the hand coming up. So even here I could go higher. Even here I can do this. And that gives a nice arc. And the hand could be here. You know, we could have the hand all the way here and bent. It's just so much more dynamic. So, and he grabs that. Ba-da. Okay, so that gets us there. What else can we see? Well, the hair, all that business comes in later. And it's good that we have a model, this layout, as a guide, just to get some rough. And even as I think about this, I would angle his head. So it's not so mechanical. And then his head down here. Isn't this wonderful? Only animators could see this and be able to, I'm not even using other pencils, just doing it all in one. Because we know our characters and what we're doing. So he comes in, and we could even have his head tilted back further, because it'll look sexy. It really will. And then, oh well, for what follows is this lovely hair. If you remember Jim's hair, look at how much fun we're going to have with that, just animating. And so, and then he's in this, I don't think he's in a center position at all. I think he just grabs this thing here. So let's put his eyes in blue. And we could even go profile here. And his ears. Let's just remind ourselves where the ears are, right? So they're about where the eye, with a slight curve. So that'll be the ear. And once we put in these landmarks and we're comfortable with them, the animation itself gets rather less tedious when you're trying to keep things on model. But again, you have your own character, and what's better than that? You know, if we were doing Daffy Duck or something, we'd really have to pay attention until we're absolutely so comfortable with the model. Okay, so the trick here is that hand doesn't arrive at the same time this kid does, this head. So, you know, you're reaching and then arrive. So his hand be attached to one of these bodies. And that's something we'll do separately. So you could see how much fun this is going to be. And we'll have lots of fun. Until then, stay animated.